Good morning, happy campers! One day closer to my summer vacation. So excited. Can you see the excitement on my face? Wait, there's trucks coming by. And this is a country road, so I have to pay attention. All right, so really, one day closer. A little excited today. It's going to be only a half day for me because I have to come home early to take my son to the dentist who's having some work done. I don't think he's too excited about it. Can you tell my lips are a little dry? Anyway, so so I'm only working half the day, which is okay. It's all right. Half the day is fine. Can you see my back window? It's so humid that I had to turn on the back defroster this morning. Yeah, I know. You're thinking, well, so big deal. All right, well, in this area of Texas, it usually isn't humid. It's usually dry, but I am not going to say a word because, oh my goodness, do we still need the rain. The lake that's close to my house is still, I think it's like 10 feet below normal. And that's not even below full. That's below normal. So you can tell what kind of drought we've been suffering with. As a matter of fact, people that live in the city or towards the city, in the suburbs, they are all complaining because we are on stage 3, I think it is stage 3 water conservation. And many of the communities have said that they can only water their grass once a week. I think somebody's doing once every other week too. And so a lot of these people are like crazy going, oh my lawn. But the funny thing is, now you figure this one out. If you hand water it, that means you stand out there with a hose. If you hand water it, then you can water it whenever you want. So that doesn't even make any sense for me. So what they're saying is, if you're lazy and you use your sprinkler system, you can only do it once a week or once every other week. But if you have the time to spend, you could go out there and water as much as you want. That doesn't even make any sense. And then the other thing that doesn't make any sense is as you drive into these communities, a lot of them you'll see they have beautiful city landscape. Like in the median of the roads, they've planted trees. And granted, trees are beautiful and we need trees and blah, blah, blah. But you plant a tree and you don't water it. What the heck do you think is going to happen? So at the end of the season, they're pulling up those dead trees, and they're replanting with something else. Okay, it makes more sense to use drought-resistant materials and plants than it does to plant a tree that is not going to make it. And there are drought-resistant materials and plants. So, crazy. Hey, planners of cities and whatever, what department would that be? Parks? Maybe Parks Department, I guess. No. Okay, so, I don't know. Hey, and by the way, I never say this, but I want to say this, and I guess I need to start saying this. Give me a thumbs up below, because a thumbs up helps me out, okay? So, I never talk about it. I watch a lot of videos. Like, there's one that I watch, and she's from Ellington, and, I can see her face, but I can't think of her name. I'll think of it. Maybe I'll write it down next time so I remember it. Anyway, she's in Ellington, Connecticut, and she's a hoot. She does a daily vlog, and so she always says, hey, and don't forget the thumbs up. It helps me. And I think, I should say that. So now I'm going to say that. And thank you. And, what is her name? I can't remember it. Anyway, so I watched that one. There's another one that I just got hooked on this weekend, and it's so funny. It's this guy who has moved to Arkansas, who had a homestead, and his family, he can trace the roots of his family all being farmers, working with their hands. Anyway, so he had a farm, and he sold it, and he's moved to Arkansas, and he's setting up a new one. And I can't remember the name of that one either. That's, why even tell you about it if I can't remember the name, right? That's so ridiculous. Anyway, so he started off clearing the land, and then now he's building a barn, And it's really interesting because he does everything by hand. The trees are from his property, and it's just very interesting. But the funny thing is, excuse me, my throat is a little dry and I didn't bring my water. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, he doesn't talk in it at all. It's all done with written titles in there. And I think it's so interesting because, a lot of videos sometimes, like, I listen to them as I'm doing something else, and then I look over when something interests me. But this one, you have to actually watch it, because if you're not concentrating, the words go by and you've missed something. So I really like that one too. There's lots of them that I listen to and I watch. I like watching the Tonight Show ones that are the short clips. I like watching, I watch the Martha Stewart ones. I love those. There's these two brothers. One of them wrote that book that's a movie that just came out as a movie. Anyway, these two brothers do these vlogs back and forth. And I watch them. They're a hoot. They're really funny. Let's see, who else do I watch? Oh, I watch one out of Alaska. I think her name is like A Caribou or something similar to that. I watched that one. I love that one. I watched this other one with this lady who has left the rat race and she built her own log cabin. And so she does all these really fun tips, like about how to clip the chicken's wings and how to grow potatoes, and so she's really a hoot. But the funny thing is, I don't know if it's her son or who it is, but they did this one because you know how that spray cologne Axe is so hot, especially, excuse me, because I taught middle school, but especially with the middle school boys, actually, they think it covers their body odor, and they can walk into the room and just about wipe out everybody that's in there because they've sprayed so much. Anyway, so the boy was told, or the guy was told, that spray contains horse pheromones. So he sprayed it on himself and stood in the pasture, and lo and behold, all of the horses, donkeys, mules that they had all came around him to see, like, what is that? And one of them, it seemed like he was getting a little aggressive, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is so ridiculous. But it cracked me up. It really did crack me up. So the other thing I wanted to share with you is yesterday my brother and my mom and dad and my brother's little boy came over because I had to teach them how to care for the chickens while we're gone. And so it was real funny because my nephew is he's about to be 4, and so he came in with the chickens with me, and so nervous, just sitting there, like holding his hands and playing with the material on his pants because he was nervous. It was so cute. But then he said that he wanted to touch one. So, I picked up a chicken and I let him touch it. And you could see his face. He was like, oh, okay. And then he said he wanted to pick one up. And when he went to reach down, you know what chickens did. They pecked at him, right? So he decided he didn't want to touch him anymore. But I showed him all the coop, and I showed him where they all sleep. And he thought it was really cute. So my brother looks at me and he goes, great, we're going to have to get chickens, aren't we? And I said, why not? I mean, get him now while he's young and let him learn all about them. They also have a daughter too, and she's younger though. But I just laughed because it was so cute. And then my mom, oh my gosh, she's such a city folk. She was so funny. And she was like, so, how did they get their food? And how did they get their water? And why do you have a pen around them? And then I have a hot wire around the chicken coop to keep the dogs and other critters away from my chickens. And my mom asked, do you have the hot wire to keep the chickens in? And I was like, oh, okay, Mom. No. And my brother was cracking up. He was just cracking up. And my mom was like, I told her, I said, yeah, I brought home some fruit from work today from our breakfast that was left over. I said, the chickens love the watermelon. That's what they eat first. She goes, oh, well, it looks like there's cantaloupe and other melon in there. I said, yeah, there is. She goes, well, what will they do with it? And I was like, eat it, Mom. It was so cute. I don't know. I mean, I guess she's been living away from nature for a long time, but it still makes me laugh. It was really right. Can you tell I just got on the highway? It's pretty good. Look, oh, the reflection of the sun in the mirror. That's why I wear my sunglasses. Yeah, it's 6:43. It's a little later this morning because there's no storm, so I left a little later. I did make it to work before the storm yesterday, though. That was fabulous because one of the guys was like, what are you doing here so early? I said, I wanted to meet the storm. And he's like, what storm? And then 15 minutes later, when it hit our office, he texts me and goes, oh, that storm. Yeah, that storm. It was pretty intense in areas. But like I said, we really do need the rain, so that's no big deal to me. So I have my list of things to do today. For my half day. When I get home, I have other things to do. I think today is a good day. If the grass dries out, I really need to get it mowed before we go on our little vacation. The backpack, that's okay. So we have our backyard, and then we have what we call the backpack, because when you live on, a big plot of land, anyway. So I really need to mow the backyard, and then I could leave the backpack till I get back. Backpack till I get back. That's a little ridiculous, isn't it? A little redundant, too. So anyway, the other news that I had is that my daughter and her family, they're going to join us on vacation, but they're going to drive themselves. So that's kind of exciting. Every time I see one of those driving trailers, I think, that is what I want. I would vacation, because all I'd have to do is throw everybody in and let's go. Anyway, so they're going to join us. They're going to drive themselves, and that's kind of exciting. They're going to take their own little family trip, which, I laugh at because, when I was like them with 2 kids, I used to drive from Florida to Texas. I used to drive from Florida to North Carolina. It was just normal. Load the kids in the car, let's go. And so for them to be able to do it too is kind of exciting, to get that little travel bug. And my son-in-law, he hasn't spent much time at the coast, and I don't mean the Gulf Coast. I do mean where there's real ocean, the East Coast. So when he got to go for the first time, it was very exciting to watch him. And so my friend is coming this time with her husband, and it'll be her first time on the East Coast, so that'll be very exciting too. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm telling you, this little town has so much going for it on the 4th of July. They have firemen's games, and they have a big giant parade, and one day it's the beach day, and there's fireworks over the ocean from the pier, and there's a sandcastle building contest, and then on the regular 4th of July there's an arts and craft fair in the center of town, and then there's a big stage, and they have all kinds of performers there, and they have like a veterans appreciation thing, and then on the 4th of July itself, that's the day of the parade. That night, they do fireworks over the ocean. Oh, it is just beautiful. And so I can't wait. I can't wait to eat some real fresh seafood, too. I have to admit that I do love that. That is one of my favorite things to do. So we are going to go to Provisions. If you've ever heard of that, then you know where I'm going. We're going to go to Provisions. We're probably going to go to Fishy Fishy. We're going to go to as many good places as we can because, when you only have a week there, you just try to fit it all in. And so that might be an issue too because, we only do have a week there and to get all the places in. Yeah, I'm a safe driver. You saw me. I looked over my shoulder. Woohoo! Anyway, the other place, and I know this sounds crazy, but there's a place called Pizza and Pub. Oh my gosh, I think it was called a garden pizza one time. It was fabulous. I loved it. And that's really close to the park where the craft fair is, so we'll see how that all plays out. And then I know one day we got to go out on the boat and the jet skis, so that, I've done it before, but we've got to get, friends and relatives that have never done it out there. Oh, that reminds me, I need to grab the baby life jacket. No, Beth Ann has it. Oh, sorry. My daughter has it, so we'll be good with that. All right, I'm about at Starbucks, so I guess that's all for this morning. Thanks for driving with me, and I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out, lets me know what you like, or leave me some comments, and so we can have some conversations. All right, happy day. Love to y'all.